Hey you guys, it's Crystal from the Abundantly Blessed Homestead, where we use the wisdom of our ancestors to make amazing, nourishing, delicious meals for our family and grow some of our own food. Today is a much needed update video. Covering the whole homestead today. I'm going to take you on a garden tour first. Then we're going to go into the greenhouse and see what's still alive at 110 degrees. You're going to see some of the animals that we have here on the farm, including our meat birds. And we'll have some announcements in this video, so stay tuned for those, as well as ending up at the pantry for a pantry update. So let's get started. Let's head out to the garden. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start off here in the garden. Right away, we have some lettuce. I just kind of planted it amongst the peas because it's so hot right now that the peas are just starting to bloom, and I don't know if we're even going to have peas. So I planted the lettuce because, if anything, the peas can go ahead and shade the lettuce. And then on this side we have some guinea eaten alive, but doing much better, pole beans. And you're going to notice these little antennas throughout my entire garden. I've recently got into electroculture, and if you want to find out more information about that, you can go to Cultivate Elevate here on YouTube. They have a lot of videos about electroculture. This is mostly weeds, but I do have a little bit of, I think this is parsley here. And we have basil doing amazing. This is crazy. This plant here was about half the size last week. And as you can see right here, we have a antenna, electroculture antenna there. So it's loving it. And then this whole row along the fence is all cucumbers, except for the 3 accidental plantings of zucchini, which is kind of funny. This zucchini is huge. Once again, there's one of those electroculture antennas to the south side of the plant. So all along here are all cucumbers. Then we have a nice row of potatoes. We have a huge electroculture antenna. This is one of the big ones that I built to help kind of spread out or bring down the energy for the smaller antennas. We have some thyme and sage, more basil, and a couple of parsleys. And then my cabbages. This is a little setup I invented last year. It's recycled 2x12s and some old screen from a screen door. And this keeps those annoying white moths off of your cabbages. And it prevents grasshoppers and everything else from eating your cabbage. And then I just water from below with the drip system. We have a row of onions there. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera. Some more potatoes, and then some zucchini planted in here. This was another plant that I tested the electroculture out on. This plant was struggling and only had about 2 leaves and a whole bunch of blossoms. And I planted this electroculture antenna right here next to it. And within 4 days, I already had several new leaves. And you guys can see there's a little zucchini going on there. We've had the antenna on that plant for about a week and a half. Okay, and then just like last year, we have our indeterminate tomatoes. These are the tomatoes that grow really tall. Slicing tomatoes all along here, and then as well on this side. And we're just getting ready on this side. They're getting big enough where we are tying them to the metal fencing where they'll be secured as they grow. 2 more rows of potatoes on each side actually, and once again more electroculture antennas. I just planted a few of the determinate shorter variety of tomatoes this year. This would be these right here. I have a whole row of peppers. And a second row of peppers started. I'm not sure how these are going to do. This one has a lot of antennas. I'm trying to boost these plants a little bit so they can catch up. We've got some celery. This is a row of cherry tomato plants. More potatoes. And then here we have a row of tomato plants. I have a lot of tomato plants. I had a goal of doing less than 150 plants. In fact, I only wanted to do about 30 plants. But this row is tomatoes. This row is actually pumpkins. Those are looking amazing as well. And then random volunteer potato plants there. And then another row of tomatoes. It looks absolutely amazing here. These have really grown. We got some rain last night and made it really happy. More tomato plants. What I was trying to say about the tomato plants is that I wanted to do less this year. And what ended up happening was I started planting seeds in my tray and I got carried away and ended up with 97 of them. So we're at least under 100 this year, but definitely have a lot. Okay, now this, I'm not exactly sure what these are. The next 3 rows are all viney things, and they're just kind of mixed together. It could be butternut squash, it could be spaghetti squash, it could be buttercup squash, it could be watermelon. It could be a lot of things, but these rows here are those. I put up, once again, you guys will see the antennas there. I'm trying to boost this little watermelon plant. I should probably just give it its own antenna. But these guys look really happy. We did lots of heavy mulch on the garden this year. We used all of, these guys are really hot. I'm doing this in the heat of the day, you guys. That's why they look all shriveled. It's like 90 something today. But we used heavy mulch this year. It was all waste product from the goat pens and the goat birthing stalls over the winter. Okay, then we have, I believe there's 3 rows here of onions. It's hard to see them because they're very, very tiny. I started them from seed this year. And then we have 5 rows of beans. These are also getting eaten alive. But I have installed electroculture antennas on the first 2. So they should be thriving and producing new leaves, even though they're being attacked by bugs. And we also need to replant some more seeds in here. And that is a full garden tour for out here. We're going to go into the greenhouse. It's over 100 degrees in there, so I'm going to make that tour really quick. But let's go see what's planted in there. See if I can get this on camera. We have honeybees coming back now that I have installed electroculture antennas. This is a motherwort plant. It's an amazing medicinal plant for any sort of uterus issues, PMS, afterbirth cramps, all that sort of thing. It has a wonderful honeybee on it. We haven't seen bees in a long time here. Okay, like I said, it's so hot in here, so I'm going to go quick. We have some walking onions that definitely need to be weeded. We've got 2 extremely large horseradish plants, a basil, some random onions, and some cilantro that came back. A whole bed of dill and mint mixed together. Kind of exploded on us. I've got huge elephant garlic here. This is almost ready to harvest. A overly huge row of kale needs to be harvested as well. And then we have a row of beets and a couple of rows of carrots. And then right outside the greenhouse here is the memorial we built for our son that we lost back January 1st. So this is little Benjamin's memorial. He's buried here. And we have wonderful sunflowers in the back, and daisies are coming up in the front. After that super hot tour, I figured I'd come over and take a break inside the shade. Like I said, it was 110 into the greenhouse, so just a bit hot in there. I need to do something as far as a shade cloth goes, shade situation, so I can continue to grow in there, or just water the plants and hope they make it. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do quite yet. Something else I wanted to tell you guys is that we are expecting another baby. I have had several successful midwife appointments, and we're due in December, so I just want to let you guys know about that. So if you start to notice I'm getting short of breath inside my videos, it's because I'm carrying a baby, you guys. But my appointments have gone well. Everything looks great with the baby, and blood work looks great as well. So we're just going to keep on trucking along, and I appreciate the prayers. You guys were amazing after we lost Benjamin the first of this year, and so keep me and my family in your prayers and this new little baby. Other than that, as far as the electroculture goes, I always just encourage people to do their own research. I'm very, very new to this. I just started researching it in the last month. I got into the electroculture because I noticed that my seeds and my plants were a lot slower this year, and I wanted to learn what I could do about it. Just in case it gets noisy, I'm surrounded by geese. They've decided to come this way because it's inside the shade and it's so hot outside. But some benefits to electroculture are your plants get a boost from the Earth's natural energy. You're supposed to be able to use less fertilizer because the plants are utilizing what's inside the soil already. So you have to make sure you have nice nutrient-dense soil for it to work well for you. Also, lots of mulch, making sure that you're keeping the ground moist, because if we're using electrical energy from the earth, you need it to be moist to be conductive. Also, things like limiting the use of tools in such a garden that are not things like copper. Copper is great, but a lot of steel and iron tools demagnetizes the ground, which obviously wouldn't help when you're trying to use energy and electrical current to boost plants. But this whole electroculture thing has been around since the 1700s. It went through both world wars. There's lots of stuff on it if you guys want to dig into it. It also brings back pollinators into your garden, which is amazing. It's just really great. So check it out. Cultivate, Elevate here on YouTube. The geese are coming right up. What? You guys want to say something about electroculture? Oh, is it hot today? Do you guys think it's hot? Where's your pool? Certainly. You guys just wanted to make it on the video. Is that what this is about? What's your name, Sweet Pea? You guys are just hot. Look at your pant. It is so warm today. Yes, it is. So anyway, we have the garden going on. We're trying to grow a lot of our own food. We have all the animals going on. I'm going to take you guys over and show you guys the meat chickens because they arrived 2 or 3 weeks ago. We have the baby coming, and we are going to try and attach our 2 homes, the one that's off-grid and the one that's on-grid, this year as well. So we are really busy here. But that's everything that we have going on so far, and it's only the beginning of June. Okay, and here we have the meat chicks that are very, very hot. Don't worry though, they do have water and plenty of food and shade, but they are in their nice PVC tractor, which is still holding up. I believe this is the 3rd year we'll be using this. Love this design. It was much, much cheaper than wood back after COVID. Not sure how it would compare now, but just for how light it is alone is a huge, huge plus. So there's currently 100 birds in this 10 by 10 cage, and we will be moving half of them into a second 10 by 10 cage here in about a week. Okay, then we have our dairy goat herd, which are all out on pasture. They're all staked out just as they were last year, and they have plenty of water, but you guys, it sure is hot out here. But they're all kind of spread amongst the grass here. It's okay. There's Buttercup. And we got our babies over here. They're each big enough to have their own staked out line now. So we have Tulip. Hi, Tuli. You're just a sweet girl, aren't you? Yes, you are. And there's her twin sister, Daffodil. Daffy. And over here we have Maverick. He's hiding because he's also really hot. Hi, Maverick. The hottest part of the day is over, buddy. With their big old fat bellies because they're out on pasture. They get to eat all this grass, as much grass as they could possibly want. Oh, we have one other goat over here as well. Actually, a few more. Lily's hiding down there in the grass. We have another one of our babies from this year, which is Morning Glory. Charming, he's hiding over there. And then our big buck is somewhere over there into the grass hiding. Not sure where. All right, here we are into the pantry. There's not a ton happening in here, although we have cycled through some things. and brought some things from our backup storage in here onto the shelves so it's more easily accessible when we go to cook. We still have a huge supply of fruit products from the orchard. So we've got sliced pears and apple butter, pear butter, applesauce, pear sauce, all of the sauces, still well in stock. And then also plenty of salsa still left and ketchup. But once we start to dwindle down a little bit more on the ketchup, I am going to start making the videos I had promised you earlier with the Azure Standard tomato powder. If you've never heard of the Azure Standard tomato powder, I encourage you to go check it out. It's organic. You simply add water to make your favorite tomato products. With the tomato powder, I plan to make things like ketchup, barbecue sauce, those type of things where it's going to be super easy to make it. And so I can't wait to make that video for you so you guys can see how easy it is to use that product. And it's super affordable. It's a great pantry item to keep on the shelf as a backup item to your garden. Just in case you have hail or a nasty storm come through and take out your entire harvest for some reason, or a severe drought with not many tomatoes on the plants themselves. This is a great option, and Azure Standard packages it in Mylar bags. So talk about great long-term food storage on the shelf for that future year when your garden doesn't do so well. I also rendered some lard. It's down here on the shelf here, which if you guys have been watching the channel for any amount of time, you guys know how much I love lard, so thank God that that's well stocked. But other than that, that's all that's new here in the pantry. That's pretty much all that's new here on the farm right now, which is pretty much a lot. I appreciate you guys' prayers for the upcoming baby. And I'll keep doing these update videos and hopefully some more day in the lives. We'll see. I've been holding off on the day of the life because we hadn't announced we were pregnant yet, and I am showing. So I wanted to make sure that we did an update video first. But I will have some day in the life videos coming because those are kind of fun for everybody. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.